This stick contest over the mile, and they all leave the stalls. Pretty good line. Tundra Rose is slowest into stride. Amongst those out well, the giant Sweet Francais using that stride to good effect, with Blue Bolt pushing up on the inside for Colin Keane. At this stage, Victory Queen races in third. Ryan Moore just looking to get Cajole in behind the front wave. Supermodels on the running rail, blue and yellow, ahead of Miss Tonnerre at this point in proceedings, with Tundra Rose, who is last of the 7 runners who are preparing to turn out of the back straight, and they are led by Blue Bolt. Sweet Francais in second place. In third is Victory Queen. Cajole just slotting in behind Victory Queen as Supermodels had a nice run through up the inside running rail to sit in third. Miss Tonnerre is fifth. Cajole is now back in 6th place, and last of all is Tundra Rose. So round the turn, Blue Bolt, passive outside the leader is Sweet Francais, who takes a bit of organising round the turn. Supermodel in third, in fourth is Victory Queen, Miss Tonnerre. Cajole just nudged along, and Tundra Rose finding this a little bit hot at the moment. Turning for home, it is Blue Bolt who leads them up the Isha straight. Sweet Francais in second, Supermodel in blue and yellow in third. Blue colours outside of Victory Queen, then Cajole, Miss Tonnerre, and Tundra Rose trying to come right from the back of the pack. Blue Bolt, Colin Keane, Sweet Francais, Joe Fanning up on the outside. Supermodel and Victory Queen are now being ridden. Then down the outside comes Cajole. Blue Bolt taken on by Sweet Francais. All the time Cajole making progress, the grey, but Blue Bolt finds a little bit more with a furlong to go. Sweet Francais struggling to bridge the gap. Cajole is still trying to do the same. Blue Bolt with Cajole now beginning to get closer. Blue Bolt holding by 3/4 of a length, and Blue Bolt for Colin Keane. And Andrew Balding, good couple of days here for them. Sees off Cajole, Sweet Francais, Victory Queen, Supermodel appeared to have every chance, and they all finished in a heap in behind with Tundra Rose and Miss Tonnerre. Blue Bolt sat and waited in front, saw off Sweet Francais. The only question was whether or not she could see off Cajole, who'd come from further back and had had to go back in order to get in, but she did so and held her off by about 3/4 of a length, that got no smaller in the final 50 yards. Sweet Francais is third and Victory Queen is fourth. 4 very promising horses in some of racing's most famous colours, but it's Juddmonte on top. Blue Bolt makes it 3 out of 4, and another winner for Colin Keane and Andrew Balding.
Andrew winning the Coral Distaff the 3rd time. Colin Keane, who's done so well in these silks, Field of Gold, the highlight so far, Francesca, winning again today. The only blot came yesterday.
Yeah, so Andrew Balding had a treble yesterday, and 2 of them were ridden by Colin Keane in these colours, Kasaya and Windlord. And on Windlord, he was seen to strike the horse 8 times. It will have to go to a committee hearing, likely on Tuesday, but he could get a 2-week holiday, which could potentially rule him out of the King George and the beginning of Goodwood.
And you like this filly, and she had to pull out more at the end. It was good.
Yeah, but that's the second race we've seen in a row now, isn't it? Classic this time before, and Blue Bolt now on the front end, leading on the rail. Horses not able to catch him. I wonder if this will influence jockeys' tactics in the next in the Eclipse.
Fascinating early on, because it looked as if Joe was going to go on Sweet Francais, but Colin decided to push the button, and just making that decisive move early to take the lead. He would have, in an ideal world, dropped in, but he remembered what happened last time. He got in a bit of a pocket back down on the fence, and so he went forward. And although she can be generous, you have to say it was the right place to be, because the first and second on the way round have finished first and third. So big performance from the filly in second. Yeah, and
look, she looks in the paddock like she's a big, strong, long-striding individual, and those ones you don't really want to kind of mess around with and pull them about. So allowing her to use that has worked well. So good tactically from Colin Keane. Let's hear from him with Ollie.
Yeah, you rode a great race there, Colin Keane. We'll hear from him now. Was that always the plan?
We didn't mind making it if we had to, but ideally we would have liked something to aim at. But we learned the other day when you're in there, you either get up and get out of the way or get boxed in late on. So no, look, she's a nice filly and she's progressing.
She seems to have a good attitude. How much more is there to come from her, would you say?
I think she can keep improving. As you see, she's a big rangy filly and has progressed from run to run. So hopefully she seems to be going the right direction.
And trip-wise with her, what do you think her sort of optimum conditions will be?
I think a mile is a good fit for her at the moment, but I wouldn't rule out going further in time.
Getting big cheers here. Favourite goes in. Cheska was just making the point, with one eye on the Coral Eclipse, the last 2 races, the jockeys, perhaps it's individual races and they've just rated it well. You seemingly rated that race perfectly. But do you think there is anything in that, being on the speed here at Sandown today?
Look, it's a stiff track, but at the same time it seems to be a track that's hard to make up ground on. But what I'm learning, but I suppose when you're on the right one is a big help.
Yeah, it certainly does. Well done.
Thank you.
And very well done to Isabel van Linden, who on the right there, leading up the winner. She is all smiles, as will Andrew Balding be. That treble here yesterday, another big winner for Juddmonte here, Jason. An outfit he's only trained for since, what, 2022, with Chaldean was first up. It's a conveyor belt at the moment when you think he's got Jonquil, he's got Kalpana, who ran well in defeat the other day in Ireland, and a nice filly here.
Yeah, only World too good, and obviously we'll talk about the weight for age a little bit later on as well. And Colin, I was just impressed down the back there was an opportunity, as he said in that interview with Ollie, he's going to take a lead, but then you have to ride the race accordingly, and so he took the initiative, and we've got a rapidly improving Daughter of Blue Point.
A popular win with the punters as well. Went off at 2-1 in the end. Finished sort of 7-4 this morning. It's great to have Sandown with a crowd like this and absolutely rocking today. The noise as they came up the straight. We're on the other side of the grandstand. You could really hear it this side as they roared home Blue Bolt to be